Hello and welcome back to Movie Scout 007's Euro Truck Simulator 2 Keyboard Road Warrior series. So, at the end of our last journey, we'd gone from Esbjerg to Malmö. We delivered oranges in a curtain side, and we were dragging along a trailer full of oranges. At the end of the journey, we actually leveled up. We leveled up to level 2, and that entitled us to apply a skill point. So, let's go and apply that skill point. You can see that at the end of our last journey we earned the right to apply a skill point. We put it on ADR and we chose explosives. We're going to carry on with ADR. I'm going to go through these one at a time, so I'm going to pick a skill type and then I'm going to go through and skill it up. You can see there are 6 levels to all of the skills. Apart from ADR, there are 6 skill points to apply, but they're not level. This is the only one where you could apply it to anything. If I wanted to, I could apply it to level to that level. I don't want to. What I want to do is I want to go through and apply it to each one as if this were a tree. You don't have to. You absolutely don't have to. I'm just choosing to do that for the purposes of this video. So we chose explosives. This time we are going to have gases. Class 2 is gases. So flammable gases, for example, acetylene or hydrogen. 2.2 is non-flammable gases, including cryogenic gases and liquids such as nitrogen or neon. Class 2.3 is poisonous gases that may cause death or serious injury if inhaled, e.g. fluorine, chlorine, hydrogen cyanide. Ooh, give you shivers. So let's apply that. We've applied it to Class 2 gases, and let's apply that to our profile. Boom! Actually, let's go back in. I need to remember to take a photograph at the end of each one. So we've taken a photograph. And let's go and find ourselves... actually, before we find ourselves a job, let's quickly check the banks to see where we are. I'm going to keep checking this until this box here lights up yellow like these 3 here. This is when we're going to pull the trigger on a loan. It's £320,000. We will have money in the bank already. I would estimate that we'll probably have about £20,000 in the bank in addition to the £320,000 we're going to borrow. When we borrow money, it's a good idea not to then spend all of that money, otherwise you leave yourself in a position where you don't have any money left in your account to help pay off the repayments. The bank will be nice to you and allow you a period of grace, but at the very beginning of your career you're not earning enough money fast enough to pay off that loan without worrying about income. Although obviously this is a game, you can do what the heck you like. So let's go to the job market. Let's obviously we can only take a quick job because we don't have our own lorry. We are in Malmö, so in the spirit of this particular playthrough we are only going to take jobs from the city that we've driven to. Again, that's only for the purposes of this video. You do not have to stick to that. You could take a job from any city you've discovered already. Obviously I can't take a job from Berlin because I haven't discovered Berlin. Oh, hello. Have I? Yeah, no, I haven't discovered Berlin yet. So I can't take a job from Berlin, I can't take a job from Hanover or Osnabrück. I can take a job from Malmö, and I am going to. Obviously, when I buy a truck, I'm going to be buying a Volvo, so I'm not going to be driving a Volvo again until I've bought one. I'm going to try all the other trucks. Now, already in this playthrough, we've driven the Renault Premier, and we've driven the last truck that we drove was the Mercedes Actros. Today, we're going to try the Scania R Highline. We're going to be going from Malmö in Sweden to Bremen in Germany. You can see the map has just highlighted. and that's going to be our next journey. We're going to be rewarded with £5,422 if we get it right. Our journey is going to take us in-game 15 hours and 32 minutes. Sorry, that's when that's when the offer for the job expires in 15 hours and 32 minutes. You can see here the details of the job. It should take us, according to the route that the route plan has given us, it should take 8 hours and 17 minutes. So we will have delivered this hopefully before the offer to deliver it has even expired. It's we've got a short ferry hop of 19 kilometers. That's not long enough to sleep. But that said, the journey time is 8 hours and 17 minutes. So we shouldn't need to sleep. We've got 466 kilometers to go. We're going to deliver 4 Transinet, 2 Postspeed, and we're delivering large tubes, 22 tons of them to be precise. So let's go ahead and take that job. All right, so this is our Scania cab. This is the cab that we're going to be driving in. It's not bad actually. It's I think of all of the cabs, it's my second favourite of the cab manufacturers. Scania's a pretty nice cab. There are a lot of people online playing ETS2 that favour Scania, and I can understand why. I think it's quite a nice little cab. However, it's not my favourite. My favourite, obviously, as we all know, is the Volvo. And let's go outside and have a little look at this bad boy. And there we are. It's not bad. It's not bad looking. So let's fire this up. Oh no. Let's fire this fella up. So it's not bad. Not a bad sound. Okay. Let's flip the view to city view. Well, I call it city view. It's not city view. And you can see behind us our load. So we're going to turn left, and we're crossing traffic. So let's have a quick look. Ooh, make sure that we're not driving into traffic. Oh, I thought we were clear. And I think that should do us. Blimey, that was close. Someone nipped in just in front of us. Okay. So in the last video we were talking about video game consoles. I came out on the side of PlayStation primarily because I believed that the PlayStation would ultimately, in the long run, be the better gaming machine, whereas the Xbox is clearly being aimed at the casual market. That's fine. The specs of the machines are relatively close, and you probably won't lose a great deal going in that direction. Another reason that I didn't mention as a reason for my choosing I accidentally switched the engine off there. That was really bad form. Another reason I've chosen the PlayStation is a couple of the exclusive franchises are keeping me hooked. I love the Uncharted series, and Uncharted is a PlayStation exclusive. They've announced the next gen Uncharted game. They haven't told us a great deal about it, but they have announced it. Let's let this chap by. Let's go in and... Oh, okay, he's letting us out. They've announced the Uncharted game. I'm a big fan of David Cage's games. I loved Heavy Rain. I am about to lose hours of my life to Beyond Two Souls. I think David Cage is doing something different, something interesting that not a lot of game developers are doing. Now, I know there are people out there that don't like the sort of the QuickTime focused games. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. If we all like the same things, this would be a very boring planet to live on. But aside from Friends being on my list, and exclusive games, and the fact that the PlayStation 4 is clearly more closely aimed at gamers than the Xbox One, and the fact that certain elements of the machine are more advanced, that's the only reason. So I think we fairly much closed off the next gen console conversation from the point of view of what I'm choosing to buy. But what are you going to go for if you're going to go for a console? Are you going to go for a console? I am. I've been a console gamer for the last 4 years, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I continue to play PC games, but that has to be said. I play most of them at a friend's place. I've got a friend who's very much a PC gamer rather than a console gamer. Although I have managed to persuade him to buy a PS3, I think he's more of a PC gamer than a console gamer. So, what should we discuss in this video? I'd like to talk about coffee. As you may know, if you've watched a few of the first 3 of my videos, you'll know that for 12 months I'm living in New Zealand, completely the other side of the planet from my nation of birth. And the reason I want to talk about coffee and New Zealand is because New Zealanders are coffee mad. £151. It's expensive to go through toll booths in Sweden. They are coffee mad. I had an inkling of this living in London because I volunteered at the London Olympics. I was a games maker at the London Olympics, and they built right near where the Olympic Stadium was. Westfield decided to plonk a giant shopping mall, and one of the operators in the food court area on the ground floor is a Kiwi who has a coffee shop called The Grind, and it was my favourite coffee in London by a wide margin. New Zealand and Australia argue over who invented the flat white. I don't really care one way or the other. I just care that I can get a flat white in the United Kingdom. It's not available everywhere. One of the chains offers the flat white. They don't do it nearly as well as this fella in Westfield. To be honest, it's the only reason I go to that giant big box shopping mall. Is to grab a lovely cup of flat white. Now, in New Zealand, that love of coffee is demonstrated by a massive plethora of coffee shops. I would say in big cities in New Zealand, every corner has a coffee shop. And in smaller towns, in New Zealand, they don't have news agents. They don't have in the UK, we have news agents which sell things like newspapers and sweets. They have small corner stores. In America, the sort of thing we're talking about is something like a quick stop. In New Zealand, they call them dairies. Those dairies offer things like sweets and newspapers and small dry goods, things like packets of pasta and canned foods and the like. In the smaller towns, those dairies have coffee machines. In the more remote small towns, they absolutely definitely have these coffee machines. You can't get what Americans and Brits would call a normal coffee. In New Zealand, all they do is Italian style coffee, espresso, cappuccino, latte, and they offer flat white. It's fantastic. It's the milk isn't frothed in the same way as it is in a cappuccino. It's steamed, so it's a denser milk. So you're getting more for your money, and it's a lovely drink. It's very nice. It's not. I find sometimes that the coffee that they use in because they're using one type of coffee bean, and they're using a coffee bean that's really designed for espresso, and that can be quite sharp and bitter, which is fantastic when you're having an espresso. But if you're having a cappuccino or a latte, it can be a bit too much. Let's get over for the exit. So yes, I love the flat white. I think it's a fantastic drink. And when we came over to New Zealand, we came over via San Francisco. My wife and I are slowly visiting all of the major US cities. For our honeymoon, we went to New York. It's still my favourite. I absolutely love New York. It was fantastic. I love the 24-hour nature of the city. I love the denseness. I love the architecture. I love the cosmopolitan atmosphere. I love the fact that you can get a wide range of things. I love the fact that English football was on telly and that there are club-specific bars to watch football. As you may know if you watch the first video, and if you look at my name, Movie Scouse 007, you'll see Scouse is in there. I'm a big Liverpool Football Club fan, and there was a Liverpool bar. There's a Manchester United bar, there's a Newcastle United bar, there are bars to watch your favourite football team in. I love some of the American styles of food. I love a breakfast bagel, cream cheese and salmon, or lox as they call it. They don't do bacon the way I like it. In fact, most of the world doesn't do bacon the way I like it. They tend to overdo bacon. They tend to make it crispy. I hate crispy bacon. I like that sort of that perfect moment before the bacon starts to become crispy. That's how I prefer my bacon. But yes, we came over via San Francisco, and San Francisco is very close to Seattle, which is the birthplace of fancy coffee in the United States. It's the home of Starbucks, which was the first of the US chain coffee houses. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of Starbucks. They kind of Disney-fied coffee, and there are an awful lot of types of coffee that are a nonsense. I'm not a big fan of adding things like hazelnut to a coffee. I want to drink coffee. If I wanted to drink hazelnut, it's there if you want it. I mean, you can't complain if it's there if you want it. I do find Starbucks objectionable, but that I think has more to do with their behaviour as a company rather than the drinks they offer. There's a big hoo-ha in the United Kingdom at the moment about companies not paying taxes. Companies that are making billion-dollar profits in the United Kingdom, and they're not paying their fair share of tax. They are earning a lot of money, and they're taking that money out of the United Kingdom, and they're not plowing it back into they're not rewarding Let's put our lights on before we get a penalty for not putting those lights on. They're not paying their fair share of taxes given that they are taking a lot of money from UK consumers. They're not paying it back. They're not giving back to the community they're taking from, which I find reprehensible. And given that we are still, although we are coming out of the recession, given that we are still in the tail end of that recession, I think it's reprehensible, utterly disgraceful for a company that's earning billions of pounds from the UK consumer, that the UK consumer is actually funding their earnings. They have retail box units in the UK, and they are making the UK consumer pay for the roads that deliver those consumers to them, and they're paying for the roads that they use to deliver stock to and from their various from their supply units to their retail units. Apple are another one of the companies. I love Apple products, but I'm furious that I think they made something like £1.9 billion in the UK. They paid something like £1.8 million in tax. That's just astonishingly disgraceful. I have made a colossal error here. I've been so busy talking that I haven't actually been looking where I'm going, and I've turned into I somehow turned into a hotel. No, that's not what I want to do. What I want to do is go left and then right, and then do a U-turn at the hotel. I've no idea how I did that, but did it? I have. That's nearly crashed into the barrier there. So let's do a U-turn in this hotel, and let's go where we should be going, which is to the ferry. Do our little short ferry hop. There's a brother Scania. No, we don't want to sleep. Darn it. No, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go around the greenery. I'm going to go around the greenery and make my way around that way. And I hope not to clatter any lamp poles, which would be embarrassing. But we are going to... Oh, no. I am not going to be able to do this without taking down that lamp. Yeah, I'm afraid that lamp is going to be sacrificed to the gods of trucking. No, it won't be. It's too large. See, this is what happens when you're not concentrating, is you end up getting boxed in and unable. Can we get past it? I think we can. I think we're golden. I think we're good. We're good. Right. Well, that is a tremendous relief. we haven't crashed into anything, which is also a tremendous relief. Right, we're going to have to cross traffic. Let's just double check there's nothing coming that way, nothing coming that way. Good, we're good. Right, let's go to that ferry. Let's go to that ferry. So we're going to turn right. Oh, what a relief. So we were talking about corporate irresponsibility. Sorry, we're on the other side of the road because we weren't trying not to destroy that fence. Oh, there's a man. Hopefully we get to try one of the man trucks out before we buy our own truck. So far we've driven Volvo, the beautiful FH16. We've driven a Renault Premier. We are driving the Scania R Highline, and we are going to try and drive the Man. Ooh, let's get the windscreen wipers on. We're going to try the Man. We're going to try the DAF. We're going to try the Iveco. There's another Renault that we haven't tried. We haven't tried the Magnum, and we haven't tried the Stralis. And I think there's another Scania. I think it's called the Streamline, but we'll see if they're offered to us. They may not be offered to us because we're a noob, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get ourselves on that ferry. Now, I don't know if... the last time we used a ferry, we didn't drive onto the ferry. This time we're driving onto the ferry. And there we are, we're on the ferry. This is going to be a very short hop. It'll probably cost us maybe 30, 40 pounds. Maybe 100, actually, I'm not sure. But we should be alright. We've got 12,000. So let's enter. Let's choose our destination. We're going to go to Puttgarden. It's going to take us 45 minutes. And it's going to cost us £232. Oh, that's a lot more than I thought. So let's do this. Let's get to mainland Europe. So we're going to drive out of the ferry. Let's kill those windscreen wipers, because at the moment we don't need them. We should be alright for petrol. Diesel, sorry. Oh, it's a bit foggy. Oh, no, we need those wipers. We definitely need those wipers. So we're still in mainland Europe, so we're still going to be on the left-hand side of the road, so let's stay there. Oh, there's a city, Bergerfarmeren, but we're not going to be... let's just quickly look at our map. We could take a brief detour to Bergerfarmeren. I will find out how that's pronounced before the next video. I am tempted during the course of these videos to discover as many places as we can, if we can do it within our time frame, because obviously every city you discover exposes you to new delivery options. So, out of the map, let's escape. And let's look at our... Oh no, we can do it actually. We can do it from the lorry. So we are scheduled to be able to do this in 4 hours and 17 minutes. We've got 18 hours to do this. Oh, I think we're definitely going to visit Bergerfarmeren, given how much time we have got available to us. Oh no, yes, we need to turn right in order to do it, and then do a U-turn and go over. We've just gone underneath that access road, so the GPS isn't going to be happy with us, but it's not going to be as angry with us as a real GPS. The real GPS in a real car just goes bananas. But I don't know what Garmin and the other Navman are like, but I have had a TomTom, and the TomTom just hates it when you don't follow its directions. It goes bananas, and it keeps recalculating. It really doesn't like it if you don't follow its instructions. So we are discovering a new city. So we should get that little that discovery notification any minute now, provided it's big enough to have a notification. It might not be big enough, you know, folks. It might not be big enough. Let's check the map again. Do we have to go across? Yeah, I think we might have to go and do a U-turn. That's absolutely fine. That's not going to hurt us at all. We're going to have to go around the map in order to fully discover it. That's totally fine. I think you have to find... I don't know why. But we'll do that. I mean, every bit of road we discover is a bit of road we haven't driven on before, which is what this is all about. Okay. Yes. So as we were saying, big companies not paying taxes. It might seem like a boring subject, but it's one of those things that really bugs me. You as an entity, as a company, it is your responsibility. There's a fantastic speech by Elizabeth Warren, who's an American politician. She's a Democrat. She wanted to become a senator. She was a professor, and she wanted to become a senator because the incumbent senator and the senator that she was ultimately fighting against were not particularly friendly towards education, and they weren't particularly friendly towards controlling the impulses of banks. And as an economics professor, she found this to be galling. You know, a twofold fight on things that she cares about, education and economics. And she trounced the chap that she was fighting against. Now, she is being... I think it's possibly a little early in her political career to be considering her. Maybe she's a first-term senator. But why are we not being allowed to discover this place? I don't know. Oh well. It may be a little earlier, but Elizabeth Warren gave a fantastic off-the-cuff speech about economics and about a real riposte to big businessmen who say that I did this all by myself. And I thought it was a wonderful speech. It was essentially nobody does anything by themselves in isolation. Yes, you might have built this business. You might have done this with a lot of real hard work. You might have earned the right to earn a lot of money, but when you built this business, you did it with the help of everyone else. The employees that you hired were educated because the taxpayer funded their education. you were able to get your goods to market because the taxpayer funded roads. You were able to sell them because a company that was also that also received the benefit of tax funding funded an internet service. So you were able to get your goods in front of customers because of huge investment in infrastructure by the taxpayer. You were able to build your business because the government of the country that you are selling your goods in had funded an infrastructure, road, rail, postal services, internet. A lot of the line infrastructure for the internet has been funded at a government level because it's such a horrendously expensive thing to do. So nobody does these things in isolation. Nobody. It's moronic to suggest that you in isolation have done this. You clearly haven't. You have done this with the assistance of government, of the which has been funded by taxpayers. So I get quite angry with people that think that. Oh, hello! I accidentally switched the engine off. Oh, blimey! I lost my gap. Oh, this is all going wrong. This is all going wrong. I'm talking, and because I'm talking, I'm not concentrating. There we go. We're off. Let's just double check. No damage. That's a relief. So yes, to suggest that you have built a business in isolation to a behemoth, to a large multinational, is moronic and is not deserving of the intellect that you may profess to have if you're in that position. This is some astonishingly bad weather that we are suffering here. We've got thunder and lightning and incredibly heavy rain. And actually, I'm deeply impressed every time I play this game in the rain by how much detail I'm able to get on my little laptop, given that you see others playing this game on high-end PCs. I think that on this low-end PC, I've got a pretty good view. And we have we're nearly at our destination. We've got just under 4 hours of journey time to go, which won't take us long. And we're fighting the darkness. It's just gone midnight in game. And we're behind traffic. This is one of the problems with this game. It's an otherwise glorious game, but the traffic AI is not the best. And it's a shame. But it's one of the things that's being addressed. There's going to be a patch coming out at some point in the near future. I mean, I'm recording this in the first week of December of 2013, and as I understand it, either this week or next Next week they're going to put a patch out which is going to add a new vehicle and a couple of little cosmetic details. But my understanding is that before the end of 2013, they are putting out an AI patch. I hope it will happen. It's been delayed already. I mean, the AI patch was supposed to come out with the new lorry. That's not happening now. But if you watch a number of videos of people that have contacts within the industry or are popular enough that SCS interact with them, I know that Squirrel's Nuts has spoken to the CEO of SCS, a guy called Pavel Sabor. And also he, as part of his university degree, did a little bit of AI coding. AI is possibly the most complex part of any game design. Artificial intelligence is one of those things that we don't have a real handle on as an industry. I don't know why I'm talking about as an industry as if I'm involved in the industry. I've got nothing to do with it. My contribution to this industry is what you're watching right now. Very badly driven game playthroughs. But as an industry, it's one of the things they struggle with the most, because it is the single most complicated thing to do. We are so close to photorealistic graphics in the 21st century, which is incredibly exciting. I mean, I've not got a photorealistic graphic display on my laptop here. I've got it wound back as much as possible because I want to be able to play the game. I don't want the game to stutter. But on a high-end PC, this game looks incredible. Mind you, that said, this has such a scope. This game has such a scope. I mean, when you think about the size of the game map, I can forgive it the occasional graphical discrepancy. I can forgive them that the roads can have a similar feel to them. Sorry, not the roads. The roads have got to have a similar feel. A road is a road, no matter where you're going. The towns and cities, and the background scenery can have a similar feel to it. They have gone to such tremendous detail. The road signs are fantastic and varied and nationally specific. They have put the United Kingdom in the game, even though that means you have to drive on the other side of the road, what I would call the correct side of the road, and you have to go round a roundabout in a different way, which requires them to code it so that the game knows that you're supposed to do that. I think this game is an astonishing technical achievement, given the size of the company that have developed it. They had, I might be wrong, but I think they had a dozen people when they started making this game. I think they're up to 30 or 60 now. That's tiny. When you consider that the big blockbuster games probably have a couple of hundred people working on them, and then towards the end, towards deadline day, they probably have 1,000 people working on them, which is why, for instance, I think Grand Theft Auto 5 probably cost $250 million to make. I mean, it made that money back in the first couple of hours. I think Grand Theft Auto 5 made its money back in pre-orders. But Euro Truck Simulator is developed by SCS, who have a fraction of the development team of a big company like Rockstar or EA or Ubisoft. Mind you, having a big team doesn't necessarily always mean that you're going to make good games. A company that went to the wall earlier this year, THQ, they were a fairly large organisation, and they've gone. They've gone forever. I mean, their games haven't gone. Their games have been picked up by other companies. So things like Saints Row will still exist because the games, the intellectual rights to those games have been picked up by other companies. But it is sad that the organisation that was responsible for those games has gone forever. But unfortunately, we live in a world where economics is king, and THQ made one or two colossal errors. I think the biggest error they made was a device called UDraw. They thought that people would want to draw on a tablet on PlayStation and Xbox and Wii. And when I say tablet, I don't mean a tablet like an iPad or a Galaxy Tab or a Kindle Fire. I mean like a tablet for artists, like the CAD designers use. Essentially, it's like a giant mouse pad, but it's touch sensitive, and you use a pen and you physically draw on a device, and then those scratchings get translated to the computer screen. And they brought this device to market that nobody wanted, and it cost millions to develop, and it killed the company. It killed the company. I mean, that is a business error. That's a company putting a gun to its head and pulling the trigger. Another company that went to the wall last year went to the wall because of a decision made by one of the investors that was a colossally stupid decision. A game developer was in the process of making a game, and as with all games, these things take longer than you initially budget for. Almost every game has either been late or has been delivered to market with significant bugs that then have to be patched out of the game. And the state of... Apologies for that. Just as I was hitting the... I've had a crash. Just as I was coming off the motorway, my camera had a malfunction. So you'll notice a bit of a jump. We've come off the motorway and we're on a normal road, and of course, having sorted out my camera problem, I wasn't 100% with it, and so we've had a little bit of a scrape on the road barrier. So as I was saying, the state of New Jersey decided that because the game wasn't being made fast enough, they felt like they were going to lose money. This is patently an utter nonsense. But because they were by a large margin the majority shareholder in the company now, they pulled the plug. The idiot in charge has cost the state of New Jersey a significant amount of money, and killed an otherwise excellent company that made excellent games, and done no one any favours. This is sad. So, but it is unfortunately the way that that things happen in an age when the bottom line is king. And we've discovered Bremen. Right, we are nearly at our destination, and we're about to see whether I can go 2 for 2 on reasonable parking attempts, because when we got to Malmö, I got it into position, relatively quickly. The aim is to become a much better driver over the course of this. Now, obviously, when I get back to the UK and I start using the steering wheel, I'm going to be back at square one, because using a different input device changes the way that you drive. But we won't worry about that until we're actually driving with a steering wheel. Oh, it looks like we can go straight in to poo speed, which my wife calls poo speed, because my wife's a comedian. Okay, I knew that there would be a palette, because there's always a palette, and this is pretty much the same. You'll see what I mean about cookie cutter. I mean, this is pretty much the same type of loading bay that we've had at our last 2 deliveries. So you can see what I mean by cookie cutter. By cookie cutter, I mean it's pretty much the same. Like they've stamped out. Okay, this is not going to be. No, I didn't think so. Let's go forward a little. Sorry, I'm not talking. I was concentrating so intently on parking that I completely forgot that I'm actually supposed to be talking to you lovely people about what it is that I'm doing. So, this isn't going brilliantly. As you can see, I have totally screwed the pooch on this. I'm now at a right angle to where I should be. So I need to straighten up and fly right. Oh, let's quickly have a look from above. Okay. Right. Oh, no, this is not the right way to go. Oh, I really am not doing this very well at all. Oh, crikey. See, this is a prime example of how not to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what you don't do if you want to park well. So I'm probably going to need to do this and then straighten up and then come back at it. So I'm now probably miles away from where I should be. Goodness me, I'm doing so badly. I'm doing so badly. Oh, I'm at a right angle again. How do I keep ending up at a right angle? I can't believe how badly this is going. So I've been totally thrown by a number of things. I've been thrown by the camera going wrong, and I've been thrown by my little incident as soon as we came back, which didn't help me. And all of that has contributed to me losing my cool when it came to this parking effort. Oh, this is just not going at all well. I've got a horrible feeling that I'm going to have to lose XP and actually just let the computer park this, because I cannot seem to get my act together. Let's pull out. And then we'll go from another angle. And then see if we can't do this better. I'm sorry, I've got a frog in my throat, so I'm gonna be coughing a little bit. Let's see if we can't get that to be. And we're nearly at the right angle. We're now going to overshoot. And let's bring the steering all the way up the other way, so we can see if we. Oh no, that's not right. This is making me so angry. This is the only part of the game that... no, wrong direction. I keep going in the wrong direction. So the only part of the game that really frustrates me is... and it's not because it's bad, it's because I'm bad at it. No, I keep going in the wrong direction. And what I should be doing is being much more careful with my steering. It's the steering that's the king. Okay, let's pull that forward, see if we can straighten it up. No, crikey, no. And steer all the way to the right so we can straighten the vehicle up. And hopefully by pulling forward we can get it in the box, and then steer the other direction and straighten it up, and then hopefully that should be it. See, when I get it right, it's clear that it's a fluke. There we go, that'll do. That is not that's not what I would call acceptable for a real truck driver, because you wouldn't be able to unload it properly. But I've got a feeling, yes, we made it to level 3, and we got an excellent rating. Now, obviously, if our parking was monitored more accurately, that would not be an excellent rating. But I'm relieved, frankly, that job is over, primarily because I was having a terrible time at the end. So we've got an excellent rating. We drove 506k in-game time for 9 hours 45 minutes. We used 252 litres of fuel. Obviously, because we went 506k, our base reward in experience is 506 XP. And in money, it's £5,264. We got a proficiency bonus of £158 because we're at level 2. Obviously, the higher a level you are, the greater the reward. Our bonus for parking is only in XP, and that's 45. So we got a total of £5,422. We earned 551 XP, and we are level 3. We are still a noob, though. With that in mind, and I'm going to go and calm down. And hopefully the next time we'll be able to park properly. But obviously it's one of those things, I'm not doing it with the steering wheel, and I've got a horrible feeling that the parking element of it is better with the steering wheel. That said, we parked, we got the green light, we got excellent. We're keeping our run going. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go. And next time, we will take a new journey. We'll take a new truck, and we'll also apply our skill bonus. And this time, I think it is to hazardous fluids. So, this is Movie Scout 007 signing out. I'll see you on the road. Bye bye.